Hello, today's tutorial is going to be on how to make this granny square heart hat. So these are granny squares, but in the middle is a heart. So if you want to learn how to make this hat, stay tuned. Okay, so these are all the materials you'll need. You'll need 2 or more colors of yarn depending on how you want your hat to look. I'm using 2. These are both the Big Twist yarn from Joann's. This one is in Varsity Yellow and that one is Watermelon. You'll also need a darning needle to weave in your ends, scissors, a crochet hook. I'm using a 5.25 millimeter hook, but just use whatever your yarn recommends. And I also have some measuring tape, but you can also use a ruler. This is just to measure the size of your granny square. Okay, so these are all the materials you'll need, and we'll start on how to make the heart. Okay, so now we're gonna make the heart. The heart is going to be 2 rows, so we'll start the first row. So I always like to start with a magic circle, and I'll quickly show you how to do it here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the end of your yarn and put it over your first 2 fingers like this. Then you're going to wrap the yarn around your fingers like that and cross it over the end of the yarn to make an X. So you have the end, wrap it around to make an X. So once you have this X, just hold your yarn and flip it over. So on this side you just have like 2 parallel lines. Go ahead and take your hook, go under the first one, and grab the second one and pull it out. Then you're going to twist this loop towards you like this. So now it's a loop on your hook. Take this yarn that's attached to the ball. You can take it off like that. Take the yarn, hold on to it. You have that loop on your hook, and you're just going to chain 1. That is your magic circle. So the next step is we're going to chain 2 more. 1, 2. So now we have 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. What we're going to do, I'm going to make my circle a little tighter by pulling on the end. I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the circle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that is your double crochet. I'm going to do 1 more double crochet, yarn over, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And this is a cluster. So our chain 3 actually counts as a stitch for this project. A lot of the time it doesn't, but it does for this one. So when you count your stitches and you have a chain 3, it's going to be 1, 2, and then the top chain is going to be the stitch. Okay, so now that we have 1 cluster, we're going to be making 3 more clusters, but in between each cluster, we're going to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Then we're going to make 3 more double crochet. We only made 2 here because this chain 3 counts as 1, but we're going to make 3. Yarn over, insert, grab, pull out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you're just going to repeat that 2 more times so that you have 3 for this cluster. And that is your second cluster. So I'm going to show it to you again. So I'm going to pull this circle a little smaller so it's easier to work with. So now that we finished this cluster, we're going to chain 2, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Then you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 2 more times to finish up the cluster like that. So now we have 3 clusters, 1, 2, 3. To do the 4th one, we're going to chain 2, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert your hook into the middle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then 2 more double crochets to finish up that cluster. So to finish this row, this is going to be one row, you're going to chain 2 more. These are going to be the edges of what looks like a square. And then you're going to insert your hook into that top chain. So if we look at the chains, this is 1, 2, and this is 3. Most of the time I like to go through both the front loop and the back loop. So I use the hook in the front to pull up the front loop, and then I push it through the back. So that's the 2 loops there. So we're gonna make a slip knot by pulling through, and it looks like you're going to make a single crochet, but you're just going to take that first loop and pull it through the second. And that is the end of your first row. Okay, so after you've finished row 1 and you've slip stitched into that chain 3, you're going to insert your hook into the middle stitch. So this is 1, 2, the chain, into this one, insert your hook, and do another slip stitch. So once you have that, you're going to pull up on the yarn a little bit because you want this stitch to be pretty loose, and we're just going to do 1 chain, just like that. So it's pretty big, but we want it that way. Into this corner here, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, pull through 2, pull through 2. So into this corner, we're going to be making 8 double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, and we're going to do that until we have a total of 8 stitches. Okay, I have finished my 8 stitches, and you can count them by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's starting to look like a heart. It's going to go like this. So we're going to chain 1 here, like that, and then into the next corner, we're going to make a single crochet. Then chain 1 more. I'm making all the chains pretty loose. And then this next part, we see this next cluster. We're going to go into this middle stitch right here with 2 single crochet, like an increase. So that's 1 single crochet, insert, yarn over, pull through both loops. And those are your 2 single crochet. This is going to be the bottom of the heart. So what we're going to do is chain 1 pretty loosely. That is going to be the bottom of the heart. Then after that, we're going to do 2 more single crochet into that same stitch. Still this middle double crochet of the cluster. So you're going to insert, pull through 2. You can pull on it into the same stitch. I'm going to do that same thing. And that is the bottom of your heart. It's pretty pointy. That's what it looks like. So next we're going to chain 1 pretty loosely. Into this next corner, we're going to make a single crochet, just 1. And then we're going to make another loose chain. And into this final corner, we're going to put in 8 more double crochet. Yarn over, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2. So I'm going to do 7 more, so we have a total of 8, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I finished my 8 double crochet, and what we're going to do to end off this second row of the heart is chain 1 pretty loosely. We're going to go back into that middle stitch. That was our first slip stitch of the row to this middle stitch of the cluster. We're going to go in it again. But make sure you leave your chain 1 out here because we're going to count that as a stitch. So that's our chain one. Going to insert your hook like we did, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, pull the first loop through the second. So that's a slip stitch, and then you can kind of do this to tighten it. And then you're just going to chain one, and you can cut off. The end doesn't have to be super long because we can weave it in while we crochet, but you're just going to pull your hook and tighten. So I'm going to show you how to close up this middle part of your heart. What you're going to do is you're going to take the end from the beginning when we make the magic circle. You're going to put your thumb and index finger over the middle hole, and then you're just going to pull on the string tight, and then it should close up. So I'm going to show you how to weave in this end. So what we're going to do is I like to, instead of going this way, because the yarn is coming from here, I'm just going to go back like this. So I'm going to skip that first loop it goes through into the second, and just keep pushing my darning needle through, and I usually end about here. Pull that through. Just going to put this end over, and then pull through. Then you can pull on it a little, and then you can just cut it off. So that's how you make your heart. You're gonna need 5 of these hearts for your granny square hat, 4 for each side, and then 1 on top. So I'll come back after I've made 4 more of these hearts. Okay, hello, I have finished my 5 hearts, and now we're gonna do the row right around the heart to make it a square that we can build off of to make the actual granny square. So this is going to be the first row that I'm going to do with yellow, but the 3rd row in total. So you can take whatever color yarn you want, and you're going to make a slip knot with your yarn like so. Go ahead and insert your hook, and then just give it a little tighten. So you're going to take one of your hearts, and we're going to insert our hook into this bottom stitch right there, the one that kind of sticks out. That is our chain 1. So this is the first single crochet, second our chain 1, 3rd, 4th single crochets. We're going to insert our hook into the back loop only. We're going to do this so that it outlines the heart and it looks better. So this is the back loop, this is the front loop. Insert your hook into the back loop only. I'm going to make this a little looser so it's easier to work with later. You're going to insert into the back loop and make a slip stitch. Next, we're going to go into the next stitch, also only the back loop. Insert your hook. We're going to make a single crochet, so pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, that is a single crochet. Into the next stitch, we're going to make a half double crochet, so we're going to yarn over, insert a hook into the next stitch, the back loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, perfect. And then into the next back loop of the next stitch, we're going to make a double crochet, so yarn over, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Next, we're going to make a treble crochet, so you're going to yarn over twice, like that, insert your hook into the next back loop, pull out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is one edge of the square we're making. Now you're going to chain 2 to make a corner, and then we're going to yarn over and make a double crochet into the next stitch with the back loop. So yarn over, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the next stitch, we're going to be making a half double crochet, yarn over, insert to the back loop, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Into the next 4 stitches, we are going to be making single crochets. So into the next back loop, do 1 single crochet, next one, another, it's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. Okay, so this is the second side of your square. To make a corner, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do the top side, and for this, we're going to make 4 single crochets to the back loop. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is this chain we made at the end. That's why I said to make the chains loose, because we are still counting them as stitches. Okay, so that is 4. And what we're going to do, because the middle of the heart goes in a little bit, we need a stitch that has a little more height, so we're going to be doing a half double crochet. You're going to yarn over. This time we don't need to do a back loop because the knot is super tight there. We're just going to yarn over, insert into that middle stitch of that first row's cluster right there, where we slip stitch at the end. All the way down there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Like that. So it's kind of the same height. And as you can see, I'm crocheting with this extra strand in between so that we weave it in while we crochet. So next, we're going to go into that first chain we made the very beginning of the second row of the heart. Insert into there, the yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, into the next stitch, do the same thing, next stitch, and 1 more stitch. Okay, so this is our third side of our square. To end off this side, we're going to chain 2, and then I just leave this strand behind because we can just cut it off. So now we're going to mirror what we did on the other side. So we're going to make 4 single crochets into the back loops. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do a half double crochet and a double crochet. Okay, this is our 4th side, and now we just have to finish up our 1st side. So we're going to chain 2 for the corner, and we're just going to mirror what we did before. So we're going to make a treble crochet, yarn over 2, insert your hook, pull through 2, 2, 2. Into the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, do a half double crochet to the next stitch. Then in the last stitch we have here, we're going to do a single crochet. And that is the square of our heart. So To finish up the granny square, I'm going to do 3 more rows, and I'll walk you guys through how to do it. 3 more rows for the yellow part. So we're going to first insert our hook through both loops of that slip stitch, and that's why we made it so loose, so this part would be easier. So that's the first loop. That's the second loop. So once you've done that, we're just going to slip stitch there to finish off. Okay, so to start the second row of yellow, I'm going to chain 3, and we're going to make a cluster, just like we did in the very beginning, into that slip stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into that slip stitch again, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, do another double crochet into the same stitch. And because the first chain 3 counts as a stitch, we now have a cluster. To make the next cluster, we're going to chain 1, so there's some space between each, and because this is not a corner yet, we're going to yarn over, insert into the corner, and we're going to make a shell, which means we're going to make 2 clusters with a corner in between. So what we're going to do is make 3 double crochet into that corner, like this, and then we're going to make a corner by chaining 2, and to finish off the shell, we're going to yarn over, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2 to make a double crochet, and we're just going to make 2 more double crochets for a cluster of 3. And that is what goes into your corner. This is a shell. We have 3 double crochet, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets. To move on from here, we're going to chain 1 to give some space between our clusters, and then we're going to count 3 from here. We're going to make our cluster into the 4th stitch. So this is the first stitch, goes up there, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put our cluster into this 4th stitch. Yarn over, insert, and again, we're going through both loops here. We don't need to do back loops. So we're just going to make 3 double crochets. Like so. Okay, so next we're coming up on this corner, so we're going to make another shell just like this one. We're going to chain 1 so we can get there, make a cluster of 3 into the corner, and then we're going to chain 2 for the corner, and then another cluster to finish off the corner. And that completes our shell, like so. Okay, so next we're going to make another cluster. We're going to chain 1. This cluster is going to go into the half double crochet we made. It's this stitch right here. We're going to insert, and then we're just going to make our cluster. We're going to now move to the corner and do another shell. So chain 1, do a cluster of 3 to start the shell in the corner, chain 2 for the corner, and then another 3 double crochet to finish off the corner and to finish off the shell. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to mirror what we did on this side, kind of. So here we counted from the bottom 3 and then went into the 4th. We could do that here, but from the top it would be 1, 2, 3. So that's what we're going to count here. So this is our first stitch. Make sure to pull back a little so you can see it. 1, 2, and we're going to go into the 3rd one and make our cluster there. And if you count it from that bottom corner, like we were doing with the other side, this will be 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're gonna now make our last shell by chaining 1, doing 3 double crochets into that corner. Chaining 2, and then making 3 more double crochets into that corner. Alright, now we have basically finished this second row of yellow. What we're going to do is chain 1 so we can reach our first cluster. We're going to go into the third chain, 1, 2, 3, through both loops, and make a slip stitch. So now we're done with row 2 of yellow, and we're going to do 2 more rows, and these rows are going to be a lot easier than what we've done here because it's going to be like a regular granny square. So we're going to start with is by chaining 4. And we're chaining 4 because these 3 here, that's going to count as a stitch for this cluster. But we're going to make our next one here, so we chain 1 to move there. So you're just going to yarn over, insert your hook into the next space, that chain 1 we did between those 2 clusters, and we're going to make 3 double crochet. I know it looks a little weird here, but once we slip stitch it in the end, it's going to look normal. Move to our corner, chain 1, do our stitches that we normally do in our corner, which is 3, and then chain 2, and you always know that it's a corner when you're going through a bigger hole or just one of these 4. And 3 more to round off the corner. And we're just gonna repeat that all the way around. So I'm gonna do it to the next corner, and then I'll let you guys loose so you can finish up this row of your granny square. So we're gonna chain 1, 3 into this, 3 into this, and then a shell there. Okay, so I have finished this side, and I'm just gonna repeat the same thing all the way until I get back here, and I'll show you how to end off this row.